All right, so this is a new segment called Talk About It Tuesday. And I was playing softball last night, and I haven't played competitive softball, and I use the term competitive loosely, in a number of years. So I was playing in the outfield, and this throwing motion started to kill my shoulder last night, and it is really sore this morning in the front portion of the shoulder. So these are the 3 exercises that I'm doing this morning in order to do some shoulder rehab, so that way I can throw them out at home plate next time. Okay. First thing, one of my favorite things to do for general shoulder health, what happens is we tend to have the shoulder migrate up like this into a portion of the scapula. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to wrap it around, and then I'm going to step on it, and I'm going to get loads and loads of tension. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to decompress. So I'm just going to let this whole left shoulder just hang. So use your throwing shoulder on this. I'm a lefty, southpaw. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, decompress the shoulder. Because what that's going to do is going to open up this space. And what we're going to do is we're going to get blood flow through there. For my anatomy nerds, this is the anterior and posterior circumflexhumeral artery. So that way it gets blood flow in there. We're creating a negative pressure within that joint to bring all the blood there. It brings us to another interesting point about icing versus heat after an injury. So if we are trying to ice the rotator cuff muscles, those are pretty deep within there. So if we have our ice pack up here, what's going to happen is your arterial system is going to come and it's going to warm that. So you're only going to get that cooling sensation not too far deep in there. So what I always say is ice for pain directly after an injury, but heat for everything else. What heat is going to do is it's going to bring blood flow to the area. We need some sort of inflammation in order to heal the injury, okay? Everybody thinks that inflammation is so bad, but we actually do need it. Now, in sports, what we're trying to do is we're trying to balance performance, but we're also trying to heal the injury. So we need to find that fine line of rehabbing the injury, but getting the athlete back to optimal performance as quick as possible. So I tend to steer more towards heat. Ice for pain, but heat for everything else. Now, everybody's got different theories on that. Go ahead and fight with me, okay? Here, next exercise we're going to do is we're going to do some rotation of the shoulder. So I'm going to take something like a ball or a yoga block. I'm going to have my arm almost at a 45 degree, and all we're going to do is we're going to rotate the shoulder in here. Now what we're doing is we're exercising the muscle that is responsible for good scapular motion. This is called the subscapularis. Okay? So I'm going to go a little bit quicker on this phase and then really, really slow on the out phase. This one actually feels really, really good. Third exercise we're going to do is going to be a little bit in the throwing motion of the baseball or the softball. So it's taking back this phase here, and this is where I got most of my pain from. It's the eccentric phase of the throw. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit functional here. I'm going to have like a baseball here. I'm going to be back here like this, and then I'm going to stand on one leg. Okay, make sure you master this before you do standing on one leg. So it's going to be here. I'm going to have my shoulder pinned right here, and you're going to imagine that you have an axis of rotation right here, and you're just going to rotate back. Okay, and this is a little bit painful, so I know that this is where this is my problem area. Now I'm going to stand on one leg. What this is going to do is going to engage my back muscles, because the throwing motion is not purely shoulder motion, it is a full body motion. So I'm going to rotate back here like this, and then I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to keep this pinned so I get that rotation here. Okay, and right there my pain is a little bit intense and grimacing there. Okay, but after doing these 3 exercises within just a couple minutes, my shoulders felt really, really good. I'm going to be back out there on Wednesday night throwing down people. Go ahead and try and steal on me. All right, I'm going to gun you down every time. Thanks. Been Talking About It Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday.